What is up, my Ammonites? It's your boy Yen Guy, and welcome back to the lab. Now today, I've actually decided to take up another challenge, and after quite a surprising success from my Abaddon Dragon, I've been actually quite inspired to create a bunch of more hybrids. I've already created 2 other upgrades, but those will be in a different video. But I actually wanted to make a creature that is actually a more terrestrial nature. One that has a lot of muscle, but plenty of speed, a good size, capable of hunting both large and small prey, immune to various pathogens, and also a very good decent amount of body armor without compromising said speed and agility. So, I've actually decided to give up the power of flight entirely in exchange for a lot of power, and created the Glarongosaurus, or the Glarongo Draco. A creature that is 30 to 40 feet long, 7 to 10 feet at the shoulder or hips, already pretty tall, but it can actually scrunch down to a much shorter weight while stalking, and a weight between 2 to 5 tons, but can actually still run pretty fast at a limited 20 miles an hour, but a decent amount of stamina in short, but not exactly too long, since there are a lot of things that would kind of limit its stamina very much. But let's take a look at the base genome of what the what Glarong is made of. The 2 creatures that I have chosen for the base genome are both the Megalania and the Phasalasuchus, 2 terrestrial reptiles capable of devastating bites. The Phasalasuchus being the largest predator that has ever existed outside of dinosaur realm, and of course happening to be a crocodilian, so there's already a strong immune system regarding against any pathogens. And the Megalania also has a venomous bite and a strong immune system as well. And since it's a relative of the Komodo dragon, it would more than likely have iron-edged teeth. But there's actually a way to further improve those. Let us actually start with the body armor. I've actually chosen the Thorny Devil. Yes, this tiny little lizard actually has a lot of pointy spikes and actually has a false head at the back of its neck, which I have actually placed at the base of the shoulders for a very specific reason, but we will get to that later. The reason I have chosen the Thorny Devil is its lightweight, a very intimidating sight, and it would actually make any potential opponent think twice before taking a bite out of the neck, the limbs, tail, or even the back. The only vulnerable spot that I could actually see would be the underbelly, but the problem is you'll have to get past those claws and teeth, as well as the signature secret weapon, which we will get to very soon. The size contributor I have chosen is the Deinosuchus, further enhancing that body armor, the bite force, as well as the size factor. But of course, I've chosen another large animal that is capable of sustaining a large size, but I've decided to keep it at a light weight. But let's get to the fun stuff. The big bad weapon that I'm sure you can already guess by now. I have chosen both the Spitting Cobra and the Bombardier Beetle. And the reason why I have chosen to give the false head on the shoulders is because that false head is actually a chemical store containing various toxins and chemicals that actually have specialized tubes that actually run through the neck, outside of the esophagus, and it would actually be catalyzed to actually cause a massive explosion outside of its mouth. It would be further protected by the false palate from the Deinosuchus. Yeah, that is where the fire comes from. And also the spitting cobra's venom, as well as the megalania's venom combined, would actually cause it to be paralyzed or completely bleed out. So a very deadly combination. But there are a couple other things that I have further enhanced. So I have given it a very quadrupedal stand, and you would probably wonder why it actually looks very similar to big cats. Which, you would actually be right. I have actually chosen 2 big cats. Starting off with the biggest cat, I have chosen the Siberian tiger. Being the largest of the cat species of today, this big cat is actually capable of not only massive roars, like all tigers are capable of, it is actually capable of rearing up on its hind legs, allowing it to use its claws a lot more effectively than most big cats, when instead of just being limited to using only one claw at a time, it can actually use both arms to swipe multiple times. And I will not be using anything else to cause it to lean back forward using its tail, because the thorny devil actually is capable of doing that. Yes, the thorny devil actually uses its tail as a third leg. And also the megalania, being a monitor lizard, is also capable of doing this ability. Due to the observation of Komodo dragons also doing this said behavior. But then there's also the big question, what other big cat did I choose? It's already capable of a massive roar, it has the claws and incredible bite force and senses, potentially even being nocturnal, but it would be further solidified thanks to the common African leopard. Yes, that leopard. It's actually very adaptable, capable of going in just about any terrain, just like the tiger can. But the thing is, the main reason I have chosen the leopard is because it is a specialized primate killer. Yes, that's right. Any theropod or any creature with long arms, the leopard DNA would actually allow Glaurung to have the instinct to have a counteractive combat capable strategy against those long arms. And a fun fact about tigers and leopards is that they are notorious man-eaters. Although attacks are rather rare, these powerful predators are capable of killing even the most intelligent of primates. Of course, that's not to say the big cats are actual monsters, but when you have an estimated number of 56 humans killed by tigers each year, leopards have the kill count of 29 humans each year, it's very hard to deny that these big cats actually have a very dangerous reputation. And with the leopards being able to kill anything as large as a lowland gorilla, that instinct would be very critical. Very, very effective. Not only is it capable of using its claws and fangs, and not to mention the serrated teeth of the megalania, as well as crushing bite from another contributing factor, aside from the Deinosuchus, it would actually have a strategy against long arms. And even though it is not as smart as the potential primate, all it needs to do is get past the potential arms and the arms of said primate genome holder. And of course, I'm also going to further enhance the body armor of the Thorny Devil with the volcano snail, also known as the scale. Also going by other names, the volcano snail is actually capable of storing various irons into the scales and shell of its body armor, protecting it from against very extreme heat. In the case of Glaurung, that said iron would be used to protect itself, further enhance its armor, teeth, and claws. And this will further allow further protection against its own fire, because you're dealing with a lot of extreme temperatures and chemical reactions, making it a very durable fighter. And of course, having big cat DNA, it would actually have surprisingly flexible skin. So even if the Indominus 2.0 or just about any other theropod that actually has opposable thumbs and the brain to use tools actually happens to pull out a spear, that it would very effectively bounce off, more than likely, if not straight up bounce away and be a further intimidating display. Having those razor sharp spines will actually be a massive deterrent. Yeah, I actually forgot to mention how long these spikes are. Some being about 2 feet long, but most commonly about 1.5 feet long, without having to compromise its speed or maneuverability and power. This spiny armor would actually be both very effective at defense as well as psychological warfare, because if there's a massive predator covered in spikes, how do you fight that thing? And the final contributor I have also added is the very famous Tyrannosaurus Rex, further enhancing its massive bite force, padded feet, and actually, since it's a natural biped, that would actually further enhance its ability to effectively walk on 2 legs for a short period of time. And not only this, it would actually give the Glaurung the most powerful senses of smell, sight, and hearing in the entire animal kingdom, allowing it to hear low frequencies from the ground or in the air, as well as having a forked tongue would allow it to be a better tracker, and on top of having the most powerful nose to smell prey, and having the best eyesight would also allow it to see from a very good distance. But of course, more crucially, it would also have the brain capacity of the Tyrannosaurus Rex, which is actually surprisingly a lot more intelligent than it is given credit for in popular media. In fact, it is actually believed that the Tyrannosaurus Rex has the brain capacity comparable to primates. So with that high intelligence, that's gonna give it better chances and better capabilities of strategy. So yes, all in all, I have successfully created a quadrupedal dragon that does not need the ability to fly. So let's go ahead and have a look at a potential body scenario as to what any potential battle against any theropods or any other theropods might actually look like, because Glaurung has been specifically designed to be a powerful theropod killer. This is no random wasteland. Where once tropical jungles and paradise on Earth once stood, this is what it remains on the island of Isla Sorna. A cataclysm caused by the Indominus 2.0 and its net desire for destruction has left the Paradise Island a worn-torn wasteland. Food for the White Devil has truly become scarce. So scarce and desolate, in fact, that it is now forced to feed on its own kind. But the Indominus 2.0 will soon discover that it is not the only predator in this desolate wasteland. This is Glarong, a hybrid specifically designed to kill even the most dangerous of hybrids. But not only this, thanks to the genome of the Thorny Devil, he is more than capable of surviving even this harsh, hostile wasteland. In fact, his genetic makeup is specifically designed to survive even the harshest of desert conditions. And he has just found a new target. An adult Indominus 2.0 who has just eaten a juvenile. However, hunger still drives the Indominus on. Thanks to its hyper-carnivorous nature, it is now forced to hunt again. But Glarong is not here for scraps. He has found a meal too. The combatants size each other up. But the Indominus is rather cautious. She has never seen a creature like this before. Could this be some strange ankylosaur? No, it couldn't be. This creature has teeth, and it is completely covered in spikes. Even its limbs are completely protected. But even still, she cannot afford to retreat. This may be the very last meal she may ever get. She may even be the last living thing of her kind. She might even be the last living thing on this worn-torn desert, aside from this dangerous creature. She plans her strategy, looking for an opening. She needs to get past those spikes. But Glarong has little concern. He knows that the arms are not to be trifled with, but the body armor is very lacking. Glarong makes his move. He charges, circling around in an attempt to jump on the creature's back. He manages to get a grip from behind, but the Indominus, being much larger, manages to shake him off. But not without injuries. Not only do the claws dig deep into her flesh, the spines on the forearms further add to her dismay. Enraged by this attack, she circles as well, making her attack as well. But Glarong, having weapons already, swings his tail like a mace, wounding the face.
agonizing pain. The Indominus reels in pain, shaking with agony. She has never dealt with such a creature with such ferocious defenses. But Glaurung is not finished. He makes another attack, biting at the neck. The Indominus manages to shake him off again, using her powerful claws. But yet even still, her hands are now full of holes, due to the thorny armor of Glaurung. Frustrated, but not deterred, Glaurung circles back, waiting for another opening. The Indominus, enraged and desperately hungry, charges face forward, mouth razor sharp, full of teeth. But then Glaurung, seeing the attack coming, makes a surprising attack that not even she is capable of being prepared for. A massive blast of fire directly into the Indominus's mouth. Now the Indominus finds herself in utter agony and pain, burned in the mouth, full of holes, desperately is now forced to retreat. But Glaurung pursues ruthlessly. But there is another attack that is at play as well. Due to her high metabolism, the Indominus is now victim of the venom that has already been secreted due to Glaurung's venomous bite. She slows down, desperate to get away, but finds herself in utter agony, and now surprisingly tired. Glaurung closes in, biting the throat and claiming his prize.
And that is all for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked what I have created so far. If you did, please be sure to leave a like, subscribe, get lucky today. And as always, my Ammonites, stay tuned for more creations and more battle tactics and potential challengers against my weapons of deadly destruction. And as always, I will see you at the next dive in the laboratory. Bye.